Hey kids, welcome to our craft time. Today we're going to be making a cool spinner. How cool is that? Before we get started, let's take this time to gather our supplies. There'll be a supply list on the screen, and I'll see you in just a minute. Now that you have your supplies, let me grab mine. For today's craft, we're gonna need some yarn. Gonna need a glue stick, make sure you don't eat it. Gonna need plenty of markers. Scissors, but make sure you have your parents' permission. A piece of cardboard, and the circles printout. Alright, now that we have our supplies, let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we're gonna start off doing is taking our circle printouts and we're gonna go ahead and cut them out. So got my handy dandy scissors here and we're just gonna start cutting them out. Make sure you're extra careful, but they're circles so they should be pretty easy to cut out. Alright, we got the first circle cut out. Now, time for circle number 2. Alright, and just like that, we have our 2 circles cut out. Now, what we need to do is we need to take a darker marker and we're gonna trace our circle, one of them, onto the cardboard. So we have our circle on the cardboard here and we're just gonna trace it. So got the marker, and then we're gonna trace the circle. Just like that. And don't worry about it if you get it on the paper. It'll just make it look even cooler later, whenever we start coloring it. The more color you can have on this, the better it looks. So don't worry. Alright, now that we have our circle on there, we can go ahead and start cutting that out as well. That part. Alright, and just a little bit left. Cut that off. And there we go. There's our circle out of cardboard. And so, what we're gonna do with it now is we're gonna start coloring our other 2 circles. So make sure to only color one side of the circle because we're gonna glue the other side on to our spinner. So we're gonna do 2 separate designs here. So this is where your creativity can flow. So I'm gonna go super crazy, I'm gonna go super fun with it. So I'll start off with an orange here in the center. I'll just make a really cool kind of design here, because it's gonna look even cooler whenever it starts spinning. Alright, we'll do some pink too. So why not? All the colors will make it look all cool. Alright, and there's one side of my spinner done. And then you can do whatever you want for the other side, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other side too. But you can do different colors, you can start mixing them up. So you could do, instead of doing it in the same order, you can use all the same colors, but do it in a different order. All right, and with that, we're done coloring. So here's our two sides of the spinner. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and glue our spinner on. So take your regular glue, and we're just gonna glue it on to our sides of the spinner. So take the side that you didn't color on, the white side, and just put a whole lot of glue on there. Enough to make sure it's not going anywhere. Just stick it on like that, and we'll hold it on there for 1, 2, 3. That should be good. And then we'll do the other side. Same thing, whole lot of glue. And then we'll stick it on there for about 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. There it is. There's our spinner all put together, but we have to have the string on it so it can spin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna take one side of our scissor and we're gonna poke it through. Again, make sure you have your parents' permission before you do this so you're not hurting yourself, okay? We're just gonna poke it through just like that. Making a hole in there and then making a second hole. Making 2 holes. There we go, perfect. Right, and then we have our yarn here, and we're just gonna pull off a little bit here so we can get just enough to make it so that it spins nice and good. And then we're gonna start feeding it in through the holes. So we're gonna take our yarn here and we're gonna feed it through one of the holes. I might need to make my hole bigger. Just like that. Oh, there it is. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Put it in just like that. There we go. All right, and then there you have it. You have it all put together. Now you get to wind up your spinner. And this is the fun part, because then whenever it spins, it looks really cool. So to wind it up, you just twist it. You twist it around and around, and twist it as tight as you can get it. Because then, all the cool colors that you put on here will make a cool effect. Just like that. How cool is that? And there we have it. There's our finished craft. Well, kids, if you had a fun time, make sure you subscribe to the Vintage Kids YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and make sure you follow the Vintage Kids Facebook page. Well, that's it for our time today. I hope you enjoyed this craft, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.